Enrolling into Medicare. Now, everybody seems to know about the famous 3 months before something, the month of, 3 months after. People start reciting that to us quite often. So that is somebody's initial election period, enrollment period to Medicare. That is tied to your 65th birthday. It technically means that you have 3 months prior to your birth month. You have your birth month, and then 3 months after your birth month to go and get your Medicare squared away. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Doesn't mean you want to do it. Doesn't mean you don't want to do it. However, this is where things can get confusing. So what you're looking at on my screen is this 7-month period can sometimes conflict with somebody that is maybe coming off of group insurance, trying to retire, things of that nature. So if you need to coordinate your coverage with a stopping date of employer coverage, and it happens to fall within that 7-month window that you have to be careful that you do this right. Because the initial election period is always going to overrule a special election period, and then there is something called the general election period. So this is why Medicare is so confusing. So you have 3 different election periods to get into your Medicare enrollment. One is the initial election period, like I said, with the 7 months surrounding your birth month. And the second way is your special election period, which is traditionally leaving employer insurance and going to Medicare. And then the third way is if you miss those 2 opportunities, you have the general election period. What happens in the general election period time is that you need to then wait until January 1st of the following year if you've missed the time period. So between January 1st and March 31st of each calendar year, you can apply for Medicare Part B coverage to start, and it will start in July of that calendar year. So if you have a gap in coverage, that can be excruciating because you're going to have to wait and you have no coverage at all. So be very, very careful with election periods. Don't just think that, oh, there's this 3-month window and I can go get it whenever I want. That's always not always the case.